just a row of overalls drying, of people eating, cooking there on the pot, whatever, on their balcony. And so that, imagine that for 60 miles, you know, building nothing else, there's no other buildings, you know, everything is a factory. And it's, in other words, it is exactly like what I wrote about in my book 200 years ago. It's Manchester in 1819. It is the birthplace of a whole new sort of phenomenon. Right. Now, in the first period, I say in the first 15 years, or even, well, so for the first 10 to 12 years, taking us up to around about 2003, of the new Chinese Industrial Revolution. This is what a classic migrant's life would be. The factories range from bad to paternalistic. So the bad ones are sweatshops. In the dorms, there's no electricity. Rats run around. They're constantly chipping at them. Sexual harassment, bullying, violence. It's Victorian. In the good ones, it's very orderly. A worker described it to me, after all the bad ones I've been to, this factory was like a garden, because there's gardens, the management drive around on golf buggies, and everybody wears a clean uniform, tutor a room, and then they don't have to march. The thing is that the really bad ones you march in step, but the good ones you just saunter along in line to lunch. Because that's what you have to do. The whistle blows, and the bad one, you line up. You put your mess tin under here and you march like this. And in this good one I went to, BYD, 17,000, I saw 17,000 women stop work and go to lunch at once. It's like if you love the working class and its history, it's the Putalon factory, 1917. You know, I think that had 25,000 workers, and the marvel was that it was the giant working class enterprise. And while, you know, BYD is just one of several hundred factories of that size in one SEZ in Shenzhen alone. Just imagine what it's like. Now, I mean, that came into the news recently because even that factory, 5 years after I visited it, just this year had a scandal because a lot of workers, for some reason, the canteen had stopped serving when they knocked off work. So they went, there's a whole tradition of informal, and this is what they won't let you film when you're there, the informal cafes all around these workplaces. So imagine what a working class life it is. You might see a bit of it, you can peer at the screen. When everybody comes out and they're all in the informal cafe. And what happened when I was there, the whole 15 of them died of poisoning because somebody put something stupid in the food. So mishaps happen all the time in the classic life of the migrant. Well, again, while I was there this year, 15, 16 people died in a fire on top of it because it's all your paint factory, bedrooms. That's what you can imagine. They used to, in the first period, they looked very dowdy. Looked a bit like when you see migrants who've just arrived in London here, you know, they kind of second-hand clothes, look dowdy, don't know where they are. The classic migrant, you know, the kind of stereotype of migrant to a Chinese urban worker is a chump, basically. Somebody who doesn't know where anything is, and it's all a bit, it's all a bit of a source of an amusement to them. Now, the other thing is the classic life of a migrant is they go back at best once a year to their village. Sometimes some people you meet have only been back once in 3 years. They leave their kids with their grandmother. They live in the dorms. I think it's fair to say that it's becoming more patchy, but if they give you the classic lifestyle, they don't go out because they want every penny that they're earning to be able to send back. To give you an idea, I met a woman from Inner Mongolia in one of these migrant shanty towns who was earning $1,000 a month. And I said, how much disposable income would you have in a year on a farm in Inner Mongolia? And she said $1,000 yuan a year. So that's $120 a year. That's way sub-dollar a day poverty, isn't it? And of course,